over budget, and we will still get in the end what we need as far as capacity addition to the plant. So there was really nothing, I mean, there's no bells and whistles on this. It's a water plant. So there's really nothing that we could cut to try to reduce it back to the estimate.
Okay.
And they're both very close, so it's not like.
Yeah, for something that size, it was extremely close. I think the main cost of this is in the actual equipment that will be installed to treat the water.
Matt, do you know when we're going to really get started with this? Because we're getting calls, all of us are, about brown water and smelly water. So do you know when?
This is actually not going to fix those things, as we said before. The water that the plant makes now is
I know it's for the
not
capacity.
stained when it leaves the
Right.
plant. That all happens in the distribution system. And we are working towards, our next phase of replacing water lines. So unfortunately, this addition to the water plant is not going to solve that problem.
No, this is for the capacity, so it would
Yes,
be
ma'am.
increased. I understand that, but will that kind of help too with the increase, the capacity kind of help with the?
Oh, yeah, because we have parts of the plant now we would like to rehab. But we're unable to do that because we can't shut them down to rehab them. So this will help us be able to shut, once this is online, shut another part of the plant down to do some rehab work, maintenance work on it. Again, we haven't added capacity to the plant since 1995. So almost 30 years ago was our last addition to the plant. So it's time to,
Of course
it's time
it is.
to add some capacity.
And this agenda item is really important. I think Councilman PT wants to say something.
Yeah, how much capacity do we stand to gain once we get that one online?
Well, by the time this one will add 2.5 million gallons a day. And then, once this is online, we can shut down Plant 3 is our next object to shut down. And then we'll increase the capacity on it. So right now, we're maxing out at about 8 million gallons a day, and we can't really sustain that for very long. But by the time this addition is done and the rehab on 3 and the rehab on Plant 2, we'll be up around 11 to 12 million gallons a day.
Gotcha.
And this agenda item kind of ties into, I know people saw some of the water grades that were given. We only had that a few days before they went public with like KTBS or KSLA, where everybody started to see them. But I want you to kind of talk a little bit about the water grade.
I kind of wanted to explain the water grade, and of course, everybody saw that the city of Natchitoches got a D. Steve, scroll down to the second page of the letter grade. This is the page that really explains where the deductions came in at. And if you'll notice, if you look on the very top item where you see the -10 in red, so you see that any federal violations for maximum contaminant levels and treatment technique violations for lead and copper, we did not get any deductions for those. So we're doing good on our treatment. What you see there is a -10 for, it says, is the system non-compliant with administrative order? And if you follow the city council, we know that administrative order is due to not being able to shut the plant down. So Louisiana Department of Health says you must be able to shut down any treatment train in your water plant and still sustain the maximum daily flow, and we cannot do that. So that's what that violation is. So we got -10 points for that. And the next one you see, we got the -20, and that is for infrastructure. So again, that infrastructure violation is the deficiency in our plant that we cannot shut it down, right? So the condition of Plant 3 facilitates that we need to shut it down and rehab it, but we can't do that. So unfortunately, we're going to have that -10 and that -20 probably next year also. This plant will probably not be online and functioning next year. So I expect us to see another D next year. So if we take away those two major violations that pertain to the infrastructure of the plant, then you could add 30 points back to us, and we would have an A. Yeah. We would not have a -36 out of 100 points. We'd have a -6 out of 100. So that is our biggest problem right now as far as this letter grade is concerned, is that, that administrative order that we are addressing with this plan.
Yep. All right.
And I know the bids came at higher than expected, but the risk, one of the risks, there's many risks, there's administrative work, for crying out loud, of us continuing to delay it and trying to rebid them out later and trying is nothing's going down.
Yeah, everything we found.
Everything's continuously going up.
From
We
each
don't-
project to the next, it's continuing, it's just inflation. So we could have said, hey, this is over budget, let's rebid it, try to get some different bidders in here. It probably would have, most certainly would have gone up.
Yeah.
And I don't think we want to head to a dissent decree.
No, we don't want the state coming in and trying to
No.
take us over, saying we're not, we're not trying to do all we can do to correct.
Thing
this
I
deficiency.
found so interesting with this article, if you took the time to read through the whole thing, it comes out and plainly states that it has nothing to do with the quality of the water that we're producing.
Right.
The water can be pristine, but you lose these points. I felt like I was back in school, you know?
Yeah,
Knew the subject, but couldn't pass it.
Well, that's what,
Interesting.
luckily, water leaving the plant has nothing
Pristine.
deducted. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's just the capacity but we're fixing it, so.
yeah, that's right.
We'll get there.
When are we gonna fix it?
The plant. So we're introducing it this meeting. Next meeting, it will be voted on. And if we vote to award the bid, and then now it's in the contractor's hand, we give them notice to proceed. They will most likely have to order the equipment. We haven't researched what the lead times will be on the equipment, but I would just guessing at the way lead times are going now, 8, 9, 10 months maybe. And then they'll start some construction at the plant, getting ready, laying some pipes. But, we're probably, this is probably an 18-month project, if all goes smoothly. So a year and a half.
Okay, I'm asking, because this is our second term, and we talked about it first term, and it's going into second term, and just ready to see something moving on this.
Me as well.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Matt. I think those are some good explanations, especially about the grade and how this agenda item directly is going to help us to improve upon that grade, grow